South Africa's unemployment rate has risen to its worst level in 16 years. It's now at 29%. According to the second quarter labour force survey released on Tuesday, unemployment rose a further 1.4% from the first quarter of 2019. Sumitra Naidu has the details.
It came as a shock, but no real surprise. South Africa is bleeding jobs.
Some of the contributing factors to the unemployment figures that we've seen is because of the subdued economic environment that South Africa has found itself over the past 3 or so years, where we've seen a lot of companies that have been retrenching a lot of young people just to deal with cost and revenue and debt servicing challenges within their own firms.
21,000 jobs were created in the second quarter of the year, mainly in trade, manufacturing and construction. But 455,000 people were left jobless. Employment declined in the formal sector and in private households. Unemployment amongst young people entering the workforce was again the worst hit. With the rising debt, especially on ailing state-owned entities like Eskom, many are concerned that this picture is unlikely to change.
Youth unemployment being the critical challenge towards this unemployment problem, it becomes the most crucial task or the apex challenge for government. One of those, why it is so and why this is also interrelated to the question of SOEs is because at the crux of growing any economy, power is needed in order to be able to do that. So that's why the Eskom question becomes such a difficult and very complex one, and we continue to see these bailouts of this particular utility. It would be, in essence, say Eskom is too big to fail as a consequence of that, because the bedrock of our economy is dependent on that.
So youth unemployment is a key focus area of the presidency. It's at a staggeringly high rate of 56.4%. So government has proposed various reforms and initiatives in this sphere, which hopefully will create, he's looking at creating an additional 2 million jobs for youth within the next decade. An overhaul of our education system needs to take place with critical skills that are needed. New skills need to be introduced so that our youth can be competitive when, as the fourth industrial revolution becomes more prevalent.
Despite a number of initiatives and promises to create meaningful employment in South Africa, real job creation has failed. The government has been warned to address structural reforms and to loosen labour legislation, but there's been little change. With the economy expected to record just 0.6% growth this year, this unemployment rate is set to worsen. Sumitra Naidu, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.